First comment, woo! MVP tonight goes to your reigning, defending, two-time champion of the world, Mark Vargas. Mark, way to hold it back down. See, I was testing you today. I opened the show, my banner warning for the show pretty early on, and so I was concerned if you were going to be able to defend your gold medal, especially with S.A. Big Dog winning the silver medal right on your butt. You know, the nose on these dogs, he was, he caught your scent and he was right on you, but he just missed. But he still got the silver. Welcome to the show, S.A. Big Dog. Third place, my bronze medal goes to Carlos. No, not that one. Carlos Megana. What's up, Carlos? Welcome to the show. Always there for R8RRBEAR. One of my more favorite social media commentators. I love reading your stuff, Carlos. All right, so welcome everyone to the show. Now let me get on with Facebook. Whoa. Oh, we got some upsets tonight. Facebook, where I cut my teeth. And by the way, everyone, this is my 10-year anniversary as a podcaster, doing just what you see me doing tonight with joy, love, and excitement. And I have been sponsored by nobody. That's right. Nobody tells me what to do, not even me. Well, Mama Bear sometimes. First place, gold medal, numero uno, el jefe, Kevin Woke. Kevin, I'm venturing to guess that's not your real last name. I still like it, but I'm just guessing. Second place, my silver medal goes to Jim, the G-Man, Garrison. Jim, we got to hang out just so I can yell that from across a bar. G. Come here, man. No, we can't do that. We get in too much trouble. I'm married. I don't know about you, but I'm married. We get into way too much trouble. Third place, my bronze medal goes to handsome Joe Holman. No long one on that one. I just Holman. I just hold it. What's up, brother? The head of my security. Welcome to the show. Honorable mention to Mike Henderson. Appreciate you, brother. Much love. And honorable mention on YouTube to John the Leon. Always spreading love, but never catching venereal diseases. Now, that one's not good. Always dropping L's, but never taking losses. Remember, that was a good one. And then always dropping L's, but it's always about, living life. I got to figure out a new one for you. Okay. So what's everybody doing? Bob Standard, what's up, bud? Welcome to the show. Where's Mrs. Standard? Hi, Mrs. Standard. No, Rudy, there is no mourning the Cowboys. Stop that. You're allowed to hang out, but you are not allowed to mourn the Cowboys. Never allowed to do that. Don't say that. Wait, don't say that. Oh, okay. Everyone's saying they couldn't hear me, and then people are saying they can hear me. I don't know what you guys were doing. Look, no practical jokes. I'm serious. Not from here forward. Don't anyway. Huh? What, Bear? No. Don't do that unless it's real. Essay, I know I was giving it. I was all about you, bro. Appreciate the love, Rodney Fuller. It is your real last name, Kevin Woke. I like that. Oh, and great profile picture, bro. Beautiful babies. Oh, look at you. See, you're blessed like me. Mark McCraw, 546. What's up? Welcome to the show. Oh, nice. I got it right. Nice. I appreciate that. Yeah, everyone gets my real last name wrong. Like it's like, oh no, just stop saying it. It's Ukrainian. Okay, I never take my show into politics, but I just want to say God bless Ukraine. And I mean that seriously. I literally just got off just before the show. Something came across on the news about Zelensky, and he made some major military attack into Russia, and that like surprised the Russian people because they were being told by Putin. Obviously, he lies all the time, but he was telling all of his Russian people that they can't hit us here, and they can't hit the heart of our city, and blah blah blah. And from what I understand, they hit the heart of the city, so they scared some people. No, Naked Raider. No. I contest that. I'm gonna go back through the records. I don't think you won a gold medal, bro. I know you're just kidding. That was super funny. Finally there will be no Kermit in the playoffs. And guys, I feel just terrible for him. I couldn't have chose a better guy for it to happen to. I mean, I'm sorry, it couldn't have happened to a better guy. That's what I meant to say. No, it's not. Yeah, dude. I mean, I haven't heard the early reports because I don't care, but I wonder if Gil Moody's going to come on the show tonight. For those of you who don't know Gil Moody is a friend of mine that goes all the way back to high school, and he's a massive Chiefs fan, and he loves to come on here when he beats us and when they win games and talk a bunch of stuff. But oh no, now that Kermit the Frog twisted his little bitty leggy and got a little bitty boo-boo, he's probably going to be out all next year. Achilles stuff is no joke. Anterior cruciate ligaments, things like that. Yes, I know my science. I used to work in physical therapy. But he's probably looking at a year rehab minimum. So that means all of next year. Because even if you tried to bring him back next year, it would have to be like at a point in the season where you're at like week 6, 16, 17, or 18. You know what I mean? It takes too long. There's no chance. He's out all of next year. So the division's open. You know what I mean? Let's be honest. The Chiefs aren't solid. The Broncos aren't solid. And the Chargers aren't solid. Chiefs down. Chargers, Broncos, I mean, they got us twice this year. I have something to say about that too, by the way. But hi, Peggy. Yes, I'm sure your Steelers are winning again. It's so good to see you, Peggy. Tim, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Mwah, mwah for the babies. Jerry Kester, sup, Bear? Been a minute, but I'm here for the Bear. Stockton 209 in the house. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. 209 was my stomping grounds. Appreciate the love. Dale Thacker, to the parents of the 11 Pee Wee players, come get your kids. They're killing my Raiders. Yeah, honestly, I got to say, before I say anything, I was upset about the Broncos game. I thought that was the last, sign to me that Pete Carroll has lost the team. Now, I'm not saying that it wasn't before now. It was, obviously, because of how we've gone down this stretch. But I'm not sure exactly which game he lost us because we were still playing, pretty intensely. We were still fighting in a lot of these games, you know what I mean? Even if we, weren't there on the scoreboard. Excuse me. The defense was bringing it. The offense was, has been bad all year, but I mean, it's had its moments, Add to that how we started the season. I know it's hard to remember because it seems like forever ago and ever ago, but we beat the Patriots to start the season on the road and we looked dominant. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, and obviously the Patriots weren't looked at as a very good team at that point, but now we know that looking back on this season that they actually were on the springboard of taking off a little bit. And they then went on, I think it was like a 5 or 6 game, something like that, where they went like 5-2 or 6-1 or something like that. Again, I don't know for sure because I don't care. It's another team. But I know the Patriots down the stretch after losing to us, they buttoned it up and they started winning games and started looking a lot better. Even the games they lost, I think they did well. Okay, hang on. Let me look at the bottom here. Oh, okay, just make sure I didn't miss anything. All right, so real quick, I wanted to read something to you that Pete Carroll said that I didn't really like. I'm just going to go on. He says here, we need to show improvement. We need to get better. The question the reporter posed to him was, what should we as fans look forward to in these next 3 games? And he says, we need to get better. We need to move the football better and get in the red zone and get some points on the freaking board, man. That just doesn't hold anything for the fans that you're freaking pissed now. I mean, yeah, anyway, we've got to score. And then when we get our chances, we've got to back them up with what we're doing on the other side of the football. In other words, the defense has to support them when they score. And so we just need to feel like we're improving. And this game was so slanted in their direction that it just didn't feel like that at all. Now, let me just repeat that last part. Just that last part. Listen carefully. We've got to get back up. We've got to back it up with what we're doing on the other side of the ball. We just need to feel like we're improving. And this game was so slanted in their direction that it just didn't feel like that at all. Like we're improving. That's because you lost the team, Pete. You got into some power struggle, argumentative, childish BS with Chip, and why stay? That's the problem I have. I mean, whether it's a guaranteed contract or there's legalities to it, you're telling me he couldn't have just quit? Just walk out. If they're hitting you with all these demands, you get hired as the head coach, and then they tell you Spytek's going to be your GM. You don't get to pick your GM. Oh, and Chip Kelly's going to be your offensive coordinator. You don't get to pick your offensive coordinator. Oh, and this other guy we already have here, our defensive coordinator, we're just going to keep him, okay? You know what I mean? And at first, I'm being honest, I'm not a know-it-all. I tell everyone that all the time. I get a lot of inside scoop, and I report that to you. I told you guys 2 weeks ago that this was it for Pete. There's not going to be a year 2, and they're going to tear it down, and that everyone's going to be available. And the only people that will not be available is Brock Bowers and Max Crosby, and that's it. Honest. Everyone else is on the board, and teams are calling. Teams are calling. So don't be surprised if we make a move. Probably not with those 2 guys, but maybe something else that would be shocking, like Ashton Ginty. Yes, I know that's crazy. I'm not saying that'll happen. I'm just saying something's going to happen, because you can't keep this roster the way it is. You got embarrassed, and more importantly, he got into a power struggle with the upstairs. It got into the locker room. The players got sick and tired of it. They're pissed. Coach is pissed. Upstairs is pissed. Everyone's pissed, in a state of pissed, and you can't win like that. You can't win like that. It doesn't matter who you have on your roster. You can't win like that. You know what I mean? With that mentality running through your franchise, you cannot win. Bob Stander said we should trade for Joe Burrow or get Mendoza in the first pick. Why not do both? See, I feel like when you get a veteran with right out of college, highly sought after prospect, and people are going to expect things from Mendoza, but also fans and the press all universally know that when you bring in a young quarterback, if you can give him time, there's never anything better than letting that guy grow. Just let him grow. It doesn't matter if he may be able to do it from day one. Maybe he can. We've seen a lot of rookie quarterbacks come out. Cam Ward's doing it right now. You know what I mean? That other kid, CJ Stroud, he came out, they threw him right into the water with the Sharks. So why shouldn't we? Well, if we can get our hands on a veteran like Burrow, and that can read defenses and win right now, I want that, because there's too many guys. Okay, guys, we have to remember, Bob, I know you'll understand what I'm saying, Bob, when I say this. We have to remember that the NCAA college level does not teach their quarterbacks how to play at the NFL level. They just don't. They don't. What they do is they meet their family and that kid when he's coming out of high school to go to college. And they go into his front room and they, after his son, 100 emails and texts, and then they go over and meet the parents. Then the coach of whatever team, let's say Alabama, talks them into sending them to Roll Tide. Okay, once they get to Dick, what's his face? Or Nick, sorry, Nick. I have a habit of calling him that other word. But Nick, the Saban, won't teach them anything. He just brings them in and says, this is the offense we're running. Run it. And the offense will be similar to things that are run in the NFL. So he is doing the NFL a small solid by, you should never do this around, I almost said the D word again, around Dick Saban. But Nick Saban, I did that with Nick Saban. That's my bad. Okay, I'm sorry. For those of you who didn't think that was funny, I apologize. I'm moving forward. So that guy will teach them how to play in a pro style offense on certain plays. He doesn't run his whole offense that way. And you hear all the college analysts say, oh, they run a pro style offense here. Oh, and at Florida and the Seminoles and the Miami Hurricanes. No, they do it, but they do plays. They don't run entire systems that mirror an offense in the pros, because they're not required to read defenses, because 90% of the teams that these college teams play against, remember, they build their own schedules and they invite bad teams to come play teams like the Florida Seminoles, the Miami Hurricanes, and the Alabama Sooners, or whatever they call themselves, Oklahoma Tide or whatever. But they play those bad teams. And so now their young quarterback and all their other number one guys that they got from all over the country to go to their school, they blow the bejesus out of that little school. And we're suddenly supposed to be surprised because the score was 63-10. I mean, what'd you give up 10 for? No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, I mean, they come up to the pros and they think, oh, it's going to be like that. Coach is going to give me a set of plays. I'm going to run them, and there's just always going to be someone open because my coaches are so smart. And we're going to run plays that are so creative. Woo! And we're going to call them at just the right point in the game that, needs that call. Woo! Then we're going to go out there and, oh, what the hell? I have to read defenses, and the defenses show me a look, and then it switches right before I snap the ball, and I don't even know what I'm looking at again. That's an actual sound rookie quarterbacks make when they're thrown into that situation. Can we please have a young head coach and a franchise quarterback for once already? Gary, I completely agree. I'm not saying we shouldn't do that. I think we should look for a young coach, someone that we can trust with 4 years. Because, see, this 2-year, 1 year, 3 year kind of stuff, I'm not with it. Now, if you look at the situation, Antonio Pierce had a 2-year deal. His is over as of now. Pete Carroll's still got 1 year left. But if we buy him out, create some sort of settlement, which is what I'm letting you know they're going to do. And I want to be clear. I can't ever tell you guys how I know these things. I'm just telling you they are going to create a settlement for Pete Carroll. He's going to have a dollar figure. He's going to accept it, and he's going to walk away. We're going to cut Geno Smith. He's going to go his way. And we're just really going to burn it down and start it over. There's going to be people who remain on the team. I didn't mean to make it sound like we only have 2 players that are worth anything, because we do have other players on the roster that will be there. But they're not going to be made to feel that way. We need to move on from Pete and his sons. It's over. It's over. It's over. They're going to let him finish, though. We have to deal with that. They're going to let him finish. They don't want to embarrass him. And see, that's part of the negotiations. See, you guys watch. You learn things on my show, I promise you. See, these last 3 games, allowing Pete to go out, like a captain on his sinking ship with pride and proud, and everyone thinks he's a hero, even though he's sinking and dying. But they're going to allow him to do that. And then they'll give him the money buyout. He'll take it and walk away. But if you were to do it after you fired him, he's going to be like, no, I want every dollar you owe me. I want my contract in full. I'm going to sue, blah, blah, blah. Tony, make it dip. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. No, Gruden is not coming back. I'm all for dumping these coaches and quarterbacks, but we really got to nail it on the next coaches and quarterback. We can't keep paying all these bums year after year. Well, Jim, now, although I agree with what you're saying, how can you really know whether or not you're getting bums or not? There are so many guys that come out of college that you're told, oh, this guy's going to be it. This guy's going to be it. And then they're, and it's like you don't want to insult them because they're not great yet. We got to let them have time, like Ashton Genty took a lot of flack through week 1 through like week 4, where everybody's like, where's our, running back? What the hell? We're used to having a running back like Jacobs back there just ripping off yards and putting dents in, linebackers' chests. And instead, we weren't seeing any of that. And now, obviously, a lot of that's on the line. I'm not giving it to Ashton Genty. I happen to like Ashton Genty a lot. He's one of those people that's going to need time, and he's going to need better players, and we're going to do that now. Yeah, Joe Holman, that's correct. I'm reading your comment. It obviously did not work out the way Pete wanted. There's no way you can convince me that Pete wanted all that. Now, again, I want to be clear in the interest of honesty. I did believe it in the beginning because Pete was saying it. Pete was literally saying, yeah. And so I just felt like, was Pete in the room for the negotiations, let's say with Chip Kelly? And so then maybe he approves the hiring, and that's sort of the same thing. I was kind of under the impression that might be what happened. With a little bit of research I was able to get, the only reporters I could find that were talking about it were basically saying the same thing I was thinking, that they felt like Pete knew he had no leverage. He's a guy that no other team wanted. If the Raiders hadn't picked him up, there's a chance nobody was going to, and he was going to be sitting at the retirement home, eating tapioca and getting ready for bed at 8:30, maybe 9 if he behaves himself. But in all seriousness, so he comes on, and then what leverage does he have? I think Tom Brady put his sorry, it's still hard to say sometimes. Every once in a while when it comes out of my mouth, I just want to punch something and bite my tongue off. But I do think a lot of this has to do with him. I really do. Arnie Garza, what's up, man? 5596. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Tony Make It Dip said Burrow is not the answer. Well, Tony, I would say that every time sports fans like you and I are talking about a subject like this, we have to say that it's likely that he has no chance. It's to me, it looks like it's a foregone conclusion. Joe Burrow is not going to be able to help the Raiders, but you can't say there's absolutely no chance. Can't happen. He is not the answer. Well, I mean, what if we get in a great offensive coordinator, they get along, and he starts slinging the rock all over the yard, and we're suddenly 4-1 after week 5? I know, don't get me wrong. I mean, obviously we can create scenarios, you know what I mean? And is that one likely? We've been waiting 20 years for something like that lightning to strike, and, we're still waiting. And so I don't know if Mendoza is that guy anyway. I think Mendoza looks like a good kid that has physical tools and mental tools to be a good starting quarterback. But see, I'm not willing to go out on a limb no matter what he does. Remember, we came from seeing Vince Young. You remember Vince Young from Texas, don't you? I mean, come on. He had everything. And even though he was chocolate as the chocolatiest brother, okay, that brother was dork, okay? Everybody liked him. White people liked him. Black people liked him. Everybody liked Vince Young. Okay. Dude had it all. Arm, big smile, Magic Johnson like charisma. Not as good, obviously. Magic's the man, but close. Physical tools, fast, strong, durability, had it all. Doesn't understand football. Doesn't understand reading defenses. Couldn't figure that out and tried to hide it like Johnny Manziel by audibling on his own into naked bootlegs, where he would look like he was going back and look around and then go, oh, I can't find anything, and then take off running and try to complete plays with his legs instead of his arms and his mind, because he didn't have the playbook, because he couldn't get the playbook down because it was too intricate for him and he struggled. And that was like one of the greatest, like, hyped quarterbacks to ever come out of college, ever. He was considered surefire, can't miss. And instead, he was a massive bust of a bomb, of a sucks. He was terrible. And I mean, Jamarcus Russell was sitting on the sidelines going, man, that guy's having a tough day. Vince Young was that bad. Similar, what Falcons did with Penix and Cousins. Keith Herenza, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Good time. Haven't seen you in a minute. Keith, not only do we see eye to eye on that, but I just think it's smart. Why put a guy in the race car and make him the lead driver before you've really even given him a chance to cut his teeth in the pros? Because what? Because in the rookie leagues, he was the best? Because when he was in college, he was the man? I don't give a damn what he did in college. All that is a demonstration of his potential at the next level. It doesn't mean that it will be there, though, because the NFL is not for long if you're not hard, committed, and ready to go. And you have to have a certain amount of acumen. You got to know these plays. You got to know them inside and out, because the way they call plays now and the way they switch in 24 seconds, guys, not even half a minute. Okay. 24 seconds. Then suddenly they switch from a dime into a blitz, and you've got to know right now what to switch to and do it in 4 seconds. Good luck. You know what I mean? Let these kids learn. Let them see the pros do it. I'd rather see Joe Burrow, whether he succeeds or not. I want him to. Bring him to the Raiders. He's a starter that had great potential and almost went to the Super Bowl. Or did he and lost? I think he did and lost. But anyway, he was good. He was good in the playoffs. He got to win against us. Well, we were a pretty good team that year. You know what I mean? Yeah, I know, with the referees, and we got screwed over. I'm not debating that. I agree. We did. Okay. But they still got the W. You know what I mean? So I'm all right with Burrows coming over if we do that. I don't want to get rid of Max at all, but if someone gives us a crazy offer for him, I think we have to take it. Talking 3 or more first-round picks. Rodney Fuller, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Always there for R8R Bear. I'm feeling you, man. And you don't have to, you're saying that kind of apologetically because I know you're a real fan and I know you really love Max, and we all Raider fans love Max. But you don't have to do that with me. This show is, we do that here. I don't sugarcoat stuff. If I think a guy that's a Raider that's beloved by all the fans should leave, I'm going to say it. And it was 2 years ago when Max was in negotiations. I was trying to tell everyone in the audience, look, man, if he leaves, 1, don't be surprised. And 2, don't be mad. Why is he supposed to owe us something? The man's got a wife and a baby and bills and a mom and dad who he wants to put in a new house and a new car and so on and so forth, and friends and cousins. Okay. He's got to get that money while he can, and he's at his best. I'm screaming at the Raiders, pay him. Thank God, we did. But now this next go around, is he even going to want the check? You know what I mean? Because if it keeps going the way it is, why would he take the check? He's not Carmelo Anthony and just wants to collect a lot of money and doesn't care if he wins or loses. That's Carmelo Anthony. He gave a damn about wins and losses. He just wanted money. Well, I can't say. You can't say either. We can't know who Max really is. Not like that. Not like that. We can know the football player. We can know his intensity and his desire to win. All those things. You can see that on him. But whether or not he'd leave for another franchise for a bigger payday or just to get away from all the losing, because let's say it's a franchise that wins rather regularly, like say, I don't know, the Eagles, the Bears are on the come up, with Caleb Williams, I'm not saying they're, it's going to work, but they look decent. You know what I mean? There's teams that would pay top dollar. And like Rodney said, 3 first-round picks and probably more than that. Probably a 3 first-round picks, a 5 and a 6. Something crazy. Question, who is our most improved player on offense and defense on this team this year? Well, Brock Bowers is the best on offense, and he already looks better by a lot. than his rookie season. And we're not even seeing that much of him because he got banged up. But in the few plays and games we've seen him in, he looks like he's playing with kids now. He looks at all of them. He like looks down at them and smiles while he's breaking tackles. And then he goes out of bounds and the guy still can't get him off his feet. And then he pulls his feet out from the guy's arms and just looks down at him like, you know, you ain't got me. That Brock Bowers, that's the most improved player to me. Trey Tucker to me is the most disappointing though. I wish Trey Tucker had just kept that momentum he built when he got the 3 touchdowns against the Patriots. You know what I mean? I don't know where that went. I don't know why. It just seemed like we weren't even targeting him. You know what I mean? It's not. I don't even blame it all on him. Joe Burrow is used to winning some games with a functional team. Davis is a butthead, so why would he want to come to us? Well, Joe, we might offer him the most money because we're the most desperate, and other teams won't want to match because of his knee issues. And the fact that, let's be honest, Joe Burrow is a little bit, well, I mean, I don't want to go as far as say soft, but I mean, he gets hit and he goes down and he gets hurt a lot. And so, what do we give up to get Burrow and still keep a first-round pick? That's a good question. We would have to give up first-round assets in like 2027, 2027, 2028. And then like on top of that in 2027, 2028, like a 5 from each year and a 7 from each year, you know, something like that. There's ways to do it. There really are. There's ways to do it. Let's see. Plunkett wasn't good until Al gave him a spot. Yeah, exactly. What about the Rams offensive coordinator as Raiders head coach? Well, I love that idea, but I don't know if he's going to want what he sees, especially when he signs on. He's going to know that maybe a good part of the roster is going to be gone. You know what I mean? Jimmy Motto, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Sorry, I'm laughing at Tim and Peggy over here. I grabbed my phone from Peggy and banned her. If you say yes to my question, I'll blame Brady's influence that Davis surrendered. Do you think this was a tank season? Honestly, what happens when you have a mess at a job, right? If you have a mess at a job where the corporate guy is pissed off and the regional supervisor is pissed off and the store manager is pissed off and the assistant is pissed off and the morning crew guys are pissed off because they don't want to have to come in an hour earlier than normal and blah, blah, blah. When that happens and you have instability throughout the company, you start to see weird, inexplicable things happen during your day that you work that would not normally happen. People missing calls that never miss calls, or forgetting to remind you about something that they would never normally forget. But it happens because you're in so much chaos because of what's happening from the top trickling down to the bottom. See, when problems happen at the bottom, the top can come in and go, hey, settle down. What's the problem? Okay, here, I'm going to fix it. Hire some more people, get you guys some more of this, that, there. Now get back to work. That's how that works. You like the animation? But when it's from the top, then that agitates everyone at the bottom. Like, oh shit, are they going to start firing people or something? Are we in trouble, guys? I thought we were a union. Blah, 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 blah. When you have that, things go bad. Period. People that work there make mistakes. Other people that work there, they start crying because they're going to get fired, or someone calls in sick because they don't want to be there when the firing happens, and blah, 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 blah. That's what's happening to our Raiders right now. They're caught in between coach, the BS that's happening upstairs, and the BS between his offensive coordinator and his defensive coordinator. I don't think things are any better with his defensive coordinator. I don't think Pete Carroll's getting along with our defensive coordinator either. I really don't. I don't think it matters, but I don't think they're getting along. Matias Torres, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Hola, ¿cómo estás, carnal? You know, Mark, I want Malcolm Kuntz out. I want to put butts in him. Thank you for giving me that name. To put butts in. Both of them. I'm just going to put both feet together and just jump right down his throat. He drives me nuts. I hate that guy, and I don't even know him. Bear, my birthday is coming up December 24th, and my granddaughter's on Christmas morning. Mark Vargas, what the blue Jeezy Weezy is going on over there? The day before Christmas and the day of birthdays? That would be hell. You can't split them. They would have to always celebrate their birthday and Christmas the same time. So if they get 10 presents, they should have got 20 because they would have got 10 on their birthday and 10 on Christmas. What is this? You're a cheap dad, Mark Vargas. Love you, brother. Tremail, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Wow, look at that family picture. Much love, brother. Look at all those beautiful people. They became bums once they became a Raider draft or not. Wow, here I tell the guy how beautiful his family is. And he comes on my show just to put one between my legs. Wow, here I was going to say, oh, great guy. Know him since high school. What's up, Tremel? Welcome to the show. Yeah, you know how it is. I mean, right now, whoever gets drafted, you'd have to say that. They're going to be going to a Raider team that's in full transition. So, I'm not ashamed. Raider till I die. Hi, Nisi Tweet Thomas. Mwah. Welcome to the show. With a better front line, maybe Burrows would work. Tony, I think that's been Burrows' whole problem. But in the interest of being completely honest, one of Burrow's injuries I do remember was a no contact injury. It was, I can't remember exactly what he did, but it was something like he was like in the pocket and the pressure was coming to him. I can like see it in my mind, but I can't remember what body part he injured. But he was in the pocket. The pressure got there. He did like a back step and then he tried to escape to his left. And then he just immediately like made, like pain face. And after like a yard, he made like literally like 2 steps and then went, and went right down to the ground. And again, I'm not a Joe Burrows fan. I don't follow the Bengals, so I don't even know what it was. I don't know. But I do know that it was a soft tissue injury and that it was from no impact at all. It just, something gave way. That's not a good sign. That's usually the sign of a guy whose body, just every once in a while, you get certain people that they're just not built for sports. There's nothing you can do about it. They're just brittle. It's not that they're fat. They can be thin and have muscle and everything. But if they land wrong or their elbow, even if it goes into grass, suddenly they have a cracked elbow and they need a sling for 2 months. And there's just people like that. I've had friends like that. Burrow is 100% better than Geno Smith or any quarterback we had since Carr or Gannon. Yeah, honestly, Carr, I'm still kind of on the fence about. And then Rich Gannon had a lot of tools around him, man. The running game was solid. We had a banger and a speed guy. You had Tim Brown and Jerry Rice, 2 of the best, to ever play. I don't care how old they were. You had the 2 of the best ever. You know what I mean? He had tools, man. Raider Goon. Raiders. Sup, brother? Welcome to the show. That's my guy right there. How many years or rebuilds are we away from finally being a competitive team? Jose Fernandez, here's how it works, okay? I'm looking at your picture right now, okay? I see you're sitting in a vehicle, all right? Now, let's say I join teams with you, and we have to make that car faster, okay? So we go out, we get 4 new tires, I get you a turbo booster, we get a brand new fuel injection, and we lighten the car by taking the back seats out, okay? And then we take you to a race, and instead of coming in 27th, you came in 14th. Now, that's a drastic improvement. We just didn't win. Okay, so now next year is not a rebuild. We're just tinkering the car some more. So maybe we get a little better tires and improved air brakes and, get a better steering, kit and get the steering into a better situation. You see what I'm saying? That's what we're doing year by year by year. Now, the problem is that we tried to do it for too long under car. So everything went bad. So now it's like everything on the car would need to be changed. Everything. That's our problem. And so now we have to get a new one and start from scratch. And by new one, I mean new quarterback, new coaches, working with the same stupid owner and his stuck-up idiot minority owner who lost his wife to a karate instructor. Put foots in him. That was my favorite. Okay, sorry, I had to get that out. That felt good. So how many more rebuilds are we in for? Well, I can't answer that, but I do feel like Mendoza, if we can get him, and I think we can, because we're either going to get the 1 or the 2 pick, depending on if we win one game or lose the rest of the way out. I got to be honest, after seeing what happened to the Eagles, I don't know how many of you watched that game, but I noticed there were times that we probably could have gotten to field goal range. If we had done a little bit better play calling, if some of the players had played, maybe a little harder, we probably would have at least gotten a field goal. Okay. So what I'm saying is that it really feels like we're in complete tank. I mean, Mark Davis and Tommy Boy might find a way to deduct Pete Carroll's pay if he was to win a game. I'm deathly serious. They might screw with his contract, fire him right away. Who knows what? But I'm just saying we will not win another game. We won't. So you might as well buckle up. It's going to happen. We're not going to win another game. Tank like the 2016 Lions. The ones that lost every single game that year. Or was it 2018? I'm not completely sure. But yeah, we're not going to win again. And if we do, we're idiots. It just would be stupid to do at this point. You should go out there and treat it like an exhibition boxing match. Of course, I could knock this guy out, but I'm not supposed to. It's an exhibition match. So if he happens to outpoint me because he pitter-patters me and runs around the ring, it's an exhibition. Who cares? Well, that's what these are at this point. These are exhibition games because we're not going to the playoffs, can't win a ring, can't win the division. So who cares what happens in these three games? Let's just get them over with, get into the draft, and get on moving. And let's be honest, this season feels like it's moved really fast anyway. It sucks that we're losing, but it doesn't feel like it's been, oh, God, it's taking forever. I was surprised we were down to our last 3 games when I stopped and caught myself, talking to my wife about it. And God's honest, I think that this next way round, if we get our quarterback, if he's even remotely ready to go, I would start him. But if we get Burrow, if we have a situation where we bring in a veteran that can watch his back, I'd rather that. Mark Atchison, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. I didn't like Vince Young. Yeah, no, a lot of people didn't like him. You don't mean his football, do you? I mean, the guy could play, man. I'm not saying he was perfect, but he was Cam Newton with a better arm. No, Carr's not coming back to the Raiders, Mark. I wrote that in a post as a joke yesterday. He's not coming back, and he shouldn't come back. That would be ridiculous. Could you imagine that? Let's say he comes back, okay? I want to give you the perfect scenario. Let's say he's in perfect shape and he's ready to go. He's going to get his head torn off. He'll get his head torn off. First, he's not solid from football contact, so he will get hurt on the first real hit. Guaranteed. Second, the line can't protect him, and he knows it. No. So when I see these people, and I mean, I've seen a lot of people saying, hey, we should just bring back Gruden and Carr for a Bon Voyage 3-game, into the, what the hell are you talking about, Bon Voyage? They would both want new extended contracts, and they would want them knowing, whoa, put butts in them. They would want those contracts knowing full well the whole time they're signing them that they will not win a single game. John Gruden is a bum, and any of you that don't know that by now aren't paying attention. John Gruden, what the hell's going on over there, Mama Bear? Mama Bear just walked in here in a Jaguar number with a little elf thing hanging. God damn it, woman. What are you doing here? You're breaking my concentration. Go away. Stop. That little elf on the shelf's been places. I'm not going to say. I'm keeping the show. Hey, this is a family show. Well, yeah, well, he needs a smoke and a shower. And the reason it's different with Burrows is because he's younger and you can sign him to like a 3-year deal and see what we got and go from there. Hey, don't change. You keep that on until later. You're messing with the bear. You get the claws. You know this. Burrow would cost too much. Well, I mean, obviously, Mark, but I mean, you got to pay if you want to win. That's what's available. That's relatively potentially competitive. I mean, he was looked at as a franchise guy. Bringing in Burrow sounds good, but his injury history and how much we would have to pay him is scary. I just don't trust him to be available. That's very well said on both my viewers, Marcus and Mark. I don't know what happened because I thought our offense might have been close last year, but we got so many damn holes. The best defensive end in the country will improve our defense big time, and that in itself will make the offense better. I love Joe Holman because Joe's going to speak it into existence. We could talk about quarterbacks, offensive linemen, anybody else, any position, and Joe's going to go, nope, defensive end or shut up. I agree, brother. We got to get Max his partner. Watch JP Raider Nation 203 Connecticut up here for team information. Omi Nota Loca. What's up, man? Welcome to the show. Watching Jack Jones now. Missed that cat. Yeah, he went to the Dolphins. He's playing pretty well there. Raider Good. I wouldn't be mad if Max goes somewhere else, but Raiders need at least 3 first rounds and a 3 and 4 picks. Well, Raider Goon, I get that, but I'm kind of hoping that instead of doing that like they did with Khalil Mack, that like my guy Handsome Joe Holman is saying, get him a bookend. Just give him a bookend. We're going to get a coach and a new quarterback, okay? Then get him a bookend. If you get him the bookend and it doesn't look like it's working, and I'm saying the bookend would have to come through crystal clear year 1, okay? So he would have to be like a 3rd or 4th round pick at the latest. Now, if we get a real monster, say in the 3rd, okay, maybe we trade up, and give up a 4 and a 5 to get a super early 3rd and get the best defensive end in the country, let's say, okay? Then we give him his rookie year to be ready to go because he's going to see the field. And when he sees the field, is he going to destroy guys and win the job, or is he going to play so-so, flash some talent, then so-so, and then get benched for, veteran talent that might get in there and get sacks? I would hold his feet to the fire and say, you got to do that. Guys, and one more time, and I just have to say this because I forgot to say it at the beginning of the show, please consider a subscription to Raider Bear Family page. You can find me on Patreon and on YouTube. You should just be hitting that like button. Where is it? Is it over here? Is it over here? Hit that like button and subscribe, please. I'm trying to get my numbers up in Facebook and YouTube. Facebook, I'm fine. YouTube, got to get those numbers up. Corinna Trujillo, you're never late. Bear ladies always arrive on time. Look at Jaden Daniels. Everyone said we missed on him, but he is always hurt. Yeah, and it has looked like he was a little bit more of a rookie wonder. Don't apologize, Corinna. We all love you. Stop that. Charlie Rockwhite, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. I like that scoot. Just tank, baby. Don't know if Burrows would be happy seeing Kappa on his line again. Yeah, good point there. They were teammates. Mark, I'm not saying Burrows isn't falling apart. I'm saying if we could get a healthy Burrows and start the season with him, if he gets hurt, then fine. Get him out of there. Give him the same thing that we gave Geno. 2-year deal, which is really a 1-year deal. At the end of the year, we can cut him. If he plays well, takes us to the playoffs, gives us a double-digit, wins, maybe 10 or 11 wins. Even if he doesn't make the playoffs, maybe we keep him on for that 2nd year. Maybe we do something. Who's your favorite former NFL or college football player that is now a movie star? Oh, Carl Weathers. I mean, now obviously he died, but it was always Carl Weathers. Now, honestly, it was also O.J. Simpson, and I don't care about the murder and the Nicole Brown stuff. Don't inbox me. I'm not condoning or supporting O.J. Simpson, but his career in comedy was seriously funny. I mean, he was really, really funny. Good thing I missed the game because I was at Disney World celebrating my birthday week, and my birthday is on December 21st. Happy birthday, brother. Tyree Wilson definitely needs to go to Mark Vargas. I'm in complete agreement. When you said that about the karate instructor, I really think that good old Tommy Boy song would be Kung Fu Fighting. Alexa, raise volume by 5. Alexa, play Kung Fu Fighting.
Kung Fu Fighting and similar songs on Amazon Music.
Who knew this song started so slow? I thought there was so much more energy in this song. Raider Johnny Espinoza, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Hey, my brother, Carnal, kiss the family from me, okay? Especially those beautiful girls of yours. Dante Moore over Mendoza all day, every day, and twice on Sunday. He has a better arm, and he may be more athletic than Mendoza. Mendoza doesn't wow. Oh, okay, you said wow my at all, but I know you meant wow me at all. Not grading. B minus. I can't argue with you, bro. I like Dante Moore too. To me, it was just a size thing. I liked the fact that Mendoza just had a little bit more body on him. And if you start to say to me, oh, but remember what he did against Clemson or what he did against USC and blah, 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 blah. I can't do that with you because I don't care what he did in games at the college level. His numbers, I want to look at his numbers, but I'm even only interested in that as a way of demonstrating that the guy can play at least somewhat. He has to show me talent and skills, and then I want to see what kind of body he's going to bring to the NFL. Because when I look at him, I see Tua Tagovailoa. I don't like guys that are 6 foot, 185 pounds. You know what I mean? It doesn't work at the NFL level. You have got to be 6'3", and you got to be 220, 215. And if you don't have that kind of weight, you're probably not going to last, especially young. You know what I mean? Because they get banged around, they start getting hurt, and then they lose their confidence. And just like my other viewer was saying, look at the cat with the Commanders/Redskins, Jaden Daniels. His confidence looks shot now. And it's just because he got banged around. Alexa, that's enough. There you go. That one was just for Corinna. No Carr, no Gruden. Yeah, no, we already got over that. Well, Cam Newton sucked, but he didn't suck his whole career. California Sir said he agrees about Gruden. Honestly, it's a numbers thing, but it's also the things he said. As a man, I know California Sir, just looking at your profile picture, that big smile, I can't believe that you would be comfortable if you and me are teammates, and we're coming out of college and we get drafted by the Raiders and they've got Gruden. I'm not comfortable with that, man. I wouldn't be comfortable with that. Not with the things he said, not with the things I know he believes, the things he said about women. I didn't like any of it. People think I'm offended just because he said things about nationalities. No, I don't like that he called Roger Goodell a pussy behind his back. If that's what he is, go tell him that. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what age you are. I don't care what business you're in. I don't care how much money you make. If that's what you think about him man to man, go tell him that. Cowards talk like tough guys in emails. That's why I never do that. Ugh. I can't stand him. Rycro obviously knows a nice mustache when he sees one. Right? Ellis Irving, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. I am doing great. Yeah, Gary Zaccardi. I'm not trying to win a contest. If there's people in my audience that like Gruden, I have no problem with that. I want to make that clear. I'm not trying to change your mind. If you completely disagree with me and could throw this incredible argument at me for positive reasons to go with Gruden, I accept that. I'm just giving you my opinion. I don't think that Gruden at this point, after everything that's happened, I don't think it's a good fit. If the only thing he had said in his emails was the trash about Roger Goodell, then okay. Then maybe you could look at him and maybe say, but the way he said things about gay people and women, and it's just not right. Yeah, we're coming, Raider Goon. All we've got now is an opportunity to do it. Peggy here again. Max Crosby has Raiders tattooed all over his body. Do you really think he's going to leave or even think about it? No, but I'm a realist. I'm a realist. I just can't think like that. I realize that the odds of him leaving seem like no, because he loves us so much. I know that, okay? But I don't know the man. You know what I mean? Have I met him? Yeah. Have I met his mom and dad? Yes. I even drank and partied with his mom and dad, and they're great people, okay? Along with a lot of other Raider fans, too. With TNBC crew, I was blessed to be invited to one of their anniversaries in Texas and met her there and her husband, and they were fantastic. And that's how I found out where Max Crosby went to high school. It wasn't far from where we were actually celebrating that day. And I just hope we don't put him in that position where we offend him while we're even losing, and then maybe ask him to take a pay cut or something like that. I'm concerned. That's all I'm saying. I'm just concerned that sometimes bad franchises make big bad mistakes because they don't handle their business. You know what I mean? So I'm worried. I'm worried that we're not going to handle our business. You know what I mean? I really want that. If we handle our business good, we sign him, everything's fine. But if we don't, everyone's going to cry. All right, that's my show. Much love. Oh, wait a minute. Mark Atchison, 6'3", 205 does not count. You know as well as I do that little 5 pounds he has, let's call it 15, is going to come off by week 4 from all the stress and rigors of NFL football. Everyone loses a dime except the veterans who know how to eat right and train and so on. These kids don't know that. So he's going to come right in here. By the end of the season, Dante Moore is going to be 6'1". He's going to shrink too. And he's going to weigh 180 pounds. You watch. All right, that's my show. Much love. Shout out to our armed forces. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force. For all you do. The energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice. Active and veteran. Much love. How many guys are doing an hour show for the Raiders right now? It seems to me like everyone that's doing a show about the Raiders pre-records it, just puts it out there. They don't address their fans live. They just record a show under the comfort of their own studio, throw it out there, and forget about it. Not your boy. Live. Every time, 10 years. Live. Support a brother. Raider Bear family page. Like and subscribe. And remember, share. If you care for a Raider Bear, you share your favorite Raider Bear. Like you have a lot of Raider Bears. Come on, you only have to share one, like and follow one. Come on, let's go. Quit messing around.